So today what we want to do is talk about rebuilding in a post-collapse environment. The one skill everybody needs that is rarely ever discussed is how to build things from the basic materials of dirt, rock, and trees. Everybody talks about things, and I hear it day in, day out, but when it gets time to actually do something, they never seem to know how to do it. So the first part of rebuilding anything is realizing the fact that salvage is very limited. So what you'll be able to forage and salvage is very limited, one in its usability, and the other is how far you have to transport it. And if you want to transport things in a post-collapse environment, you should look at the historical information on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and how they use bicycles and improvised roads to move things. So post-collapse, if you're foraging, you can use a bicycle that's modified and move up to 600 pounds on it. Now, back to our main thought, you have to know how to use the three basic components of resources that are available. And those are dirt, rock, and trees. And one example here is chips. This is multiple trees that have been milled into chips. They were given to me by the power company, which was clearing a right-of-way across my property. And chips can be used for agricultural purposes. They can also be used for temporary paving of pathways, especially in the mud. Now, when we talk about trees, you need to learn what different kind of trees are and what their uses are. Some trees are used for furniture. Some trees are used for firewood. Some trees are used to build structures such as bridges, culverts, and buildings. And then when we branch further out, we think about dirt. And dirt is used for agriculture, but it's also used for building the building pads that buildings sit on, shelters, fortifications. It's used for fill material for roads. It's used for fill material for culverts. Now, when we get to rock, rock comes in many sizes and many types, and it's used for different things. I did a video on improvised road construction about 10 years ago, and it talked about how to pick different sizes of rock for different construction purposes. So rock can be used for agricultural purposes. For instance, limestone can be crushed. Burnt limestone can be used to make concrete. Shells from sea animals also qualify as rock. They can be used to make concrete and fertilizer. Different kinds of rocks are used for different kind of purposes depending on how hard they are. And the size of the rock matters. So one good source for gravel up to riprap is creeks. Abandoned creeks, rivers. This way the stone is sorted for you already. All you got to do is dig it up and transport it. So when we talk about these three materials, they're always used together to build things. So for instance, we look at the tree here that's been milled into chips. Chips can be used for mulch. You can burn trees and create potash and use that for fertilizer. You can also burn hardwood trees such as oaks and use that to create lye to make soap or to make concrete. The other possibility there is you can partially burn wood in an oxygen deficient atmosphere and make charcoal. So altogether, these products have many uses. And this primitive skill of how to use dirt, rock, and trees is critical because this is what's actually going to be available to you. Please comment, rate, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.